The average mall sale in the United States is $275 per square foot per year. It's about the same in Canada. The mall developer on the left is the Taubman Company, someone who I learned my industry from, and they have sales of about double of that. I was his urban planner for a number of years. The average Main Street retailer has sales of about $80 a square foot per year, and I have reason to believe that in London, your average retailer has sales of somewhere between $60 and $80 a square foot per year, or about 1/4 of your likely national average. The reason we can tell that is that rents generally are about 8% of your gross sales. There's a new phenomenon called the Outdoor Open Air Lifestyle Center, and most of these are being built following the developer on the right. They're heavily ornamented. They have, every building has a clock tower on them, for example. And these centers cost about twice as much to build, and they're not very productive. And in fact, these centers are not working very well because the Generation X doesn't like to go there. They find them boring. The shopping center industry pivots around the ICSC, the International Council of Shopping Center. Many of the facts I'm giving you are available there on their website. And I'm pleased to hear that you've hired a business recruitment professional to start putting London in front of these experts. This is their national conference, and the national show is in Las Vegas, and they have about 40,000 people that attend, and they have brokers and developers and retailers, and they sort of ring a bell, and it's like speed dating. They have appointments every 5 minutes. They sign a lease, and you're not up till now. You haven't been part of that, and most cities are not part of that. And one of the reasons that cities don't have competitive retail, for the most part, is they're not part of that game. And you will be developing. Your expert will be developing things like this to help put you in front of them. Today, the sales are leaning towards the discount stores. The luxury retailers are having disastrous sales. For example, Neiman Marcus is down about 30% right now. And for some reason, Club Monaco, part of the Polo brand, is leading the pack. We think that's because Club Monaco is a Polo store, but it doesn't have the logo. And because of the recession, a lot of people are still looking for quality, but they don't want to show it off. Now, the shopper has changed drastically in the last 10 years. When I worked for the mall developers, this was our shopper. She was 25 to 45, and she used to get dressed up in her best clothing to go to the mall, put on a lot of makeup, and it was her #1 social activity. She would actually go to the mall 3 to 4 times per month and go to every store in the mall. And she liked to shop, and she would go there with her girlfriends. And she liked to look at all the brands. For example, if she needed a pair of shoes, she would try on every brand in the mall and then go back to the first pair and buy the first pair. This is our shopper today. She's a little younger, and she's very time-stressed, and she has a very bad attitude about shopping. She hates shopping. And when she shops, time is the new luxury, and she knows what brand she wants to buy before she gets there. She knows if she's an Ann Taylor woman or a Talbot's woman or a JCPenney's or a Sears woman, because those are in her price point and they fit her well. So when she shops, she goes right to the store she likes. She actually shops online first to see what's available, goes into the store, and she'll do more spending in 20 minutes than her mother would do in 2 hours. And this sort of illustrates this. This is a recently published study where it shows the amount of time that she spends in the center and the amount of money she spends. So she spends much more per minute, and that bodes well for urban shopping areas. By the way, men don't shop at all. As far as we can tell, men haven't shopped for about 4,000 years. Primarily men's job when they get dragged along is they guard the front door to stop other men from going into the store. When men do shop, they shop very differently than women, and they behave very differently in urban environments. For example, men will walk much further to the store. They don't mind uneven surfaces. They don't mind dimly lit sidewalks. Women do, and women will not shop in a downtown if you have bad lighting, if the stores look dirty, if the sidewalks are uneven, and especially if they can't see the front door from where they park their car. It's the sight thing that's important. So they'll go to a strip center and walk 400 feet and say that's close parking. But in your downtown, if they can't have that visual connection, they won't go there. When men shop, by the way, they're very time-stressed. They like it when you put everything on one hanger so that they can just pick it up and swipe their credit card before another man sees them. Women find that very insulting, actually. They like to combine things together. This is a very rare photo I took with a hidden camera of men actually window shopping one night in Naples. The newest trend we've had in shopping center development is the open air center, the lifestyle center. These were initially very successful because our shoppers could park right in front of the store, run in, max out her credit card, and go back to work or go to her soccer game or go home and cook dinner or whatever she did. And these initially did well, but now we're finding that our kids don't like them. Kids never like what their parents like. Kids prefer malls, and these are not meeting sales expectations unless they're anchored with department stores. And a number of these are closing, and a number of the developers that did these are going out of business. By the way, these do better in cold climates than hot climates, which could be a whole lecture. When we do build these centers, the housing above does very well. People will pay more to live where they can walk to a Starbucks or to a grocer or something. And I think one of the reasons you're seeing housing being developed in London is because of your retail and your urbanism. They do like brands. The store on the right will always have higher sales than the store on the left. Especially when people go on vacation. I do a lot of work for the Disney company. And there's been a lot of research recently that shows that when people go on vacation, believe it or not, they like to buy the same brands they buy at home, but they like to buy them in a unique setting. So a home run for them is to be able to buy Polo in an odd store so that if they don't like it, they can take it back when they get home. It's very counterintuitive. Now, historically, American cities had a large part of the market share. This is Bay City in Michigan, and historically, cities had more than 60% of the market share for consumer spending in their trade areas. You can see this is a 1942 photo. They did not have streetscape. They didn't have trees or brick pavers. They had on-street parking. They had large department stores, and you have the oldest department store, I understand, in North America, which I'm going to come back and study, and I've already taken a few photographs of it. And they had dollar stores, then called 5 and dime stores. They also had a lot of traffic. This intersection had 40,000 cars per day in it. And the downtowns are where you went to buy everything, from washing machines to shoes, your groceries, even automobiles were sold in downtown settings. Downtowns lost their market share when they lost the department stores, when they left, very often because they weren't allowed to expand by the city. In my own city in Birmingham, Michigan, we lost our department store because the city wouldn't let it build a 2-story store. And so they closed and it became an office building. When the store closed, our little retailers, our other retailers' sales dropped by 30% that month.